Okay, thank you so much for joining us once again on the sporting segment of Vanguard Live. We are coming to you live wherever you are, and indeed, love is in the air. You just see my partner. I'll be coming back to her. She has colors, and of course, you know the colors we are talking about. That's the color of love. We'll be talking about that, and then looking at the countdown to Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. There's so much optimism in the air. Just as we're talking about love, there is so much excitement in the air in Nigerian sports. We'll be telling you about wrestling and, of course, telling you about basketball, talk about the two sports that Nigeria is excitedly looking forward to. Of course, mining gold in Tokyo. We'll probably be looking at football. The almighty football, unfortunately, will not be mighty again when Nigeria travels to Tokyo. Talking about July 24th to August 9th. That's when the Olympics will start. And we told you it's 164 days to the Olympics. And remember that the IOC, once it's 100 days, there will be a ceremony that is going to be performed at the Tokyo International Stadium. That's how we roll here. And of course, we welcome you once again to Vanguard Live Sports segment. My name is Tony Ubani. I am not alone. And of course, a very beautiful damsel is with me here, Damilola Ogunshake. Damilola, you're welcome again.
Thank you.
I keep telling you, your smile is so infectious, and indeed, I know that our viewers will equally be infected by this beautiful, smile that is coming here. Today, we are looking at Nigeria's countdown to the Olympics, and of course, there is so much excitement. It has never happened before. But then, if we look back in Atlanta, 1996. That's when Team Nigeria, that got it right. When, of course, they won the Olympic gold medal in football. Kano Nwankwo, remember him, and of course remember that beautiful dance that he did with so many other star players. And then Chioma Ajungwa from nowhere leapt into fortune and of course leapt into fame. That is Chioma Ajungwa. She's still a serving police officer and of course sports, and has brought her a lot of fame, fortune, and talk about money. And she has it, she has power. And we are looking at wrestling, and the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, is so much excited, saying that this time around that Nigeria will not go to the Olympics empty-handed. I remember in London 2012, we were in London, when London hosted the Olympics. Nigeria went, saw, and of course came back empty-handed. Some people said they didn't come back empty-handed because they bought so many luggages, while we were coming back, but there was nothing like a medal in it.
Yeah, it's giving us a lot of information that this time around I will look forward to that the Olympics, that they will surely give us a medal. We visited the Ighalo gym, the wrestling gym in Ighalo, and he said he saw the condition and he saw that the wrestlers, that their enthusiasm due to their performance in the Algerians recently, that they will really do us proud, and we're really expecting the medal, and we really hope so, because since this is coming from the minister, we really know that yes, we surely expect a medal from the wrestling.
Okay, absolutely. Talk about Ighalo. That's the maker of wrestling in Nigeria. If you talk about Ighalo, I do not know how they are talented. Nigerians, in one way or the other, if you talk about football, you talk about Delta State. If you talk about wrestling, you're talking about Ighalo. And that's exactly where Daniel Ighalo, the first Nigerian that won a gold Olympic medal, is from. Unfortunately, that his gold does not belong to Nigeria. The gold belongs to Canada. But the young man himself belongs to Nigeria. Today, he's the president of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation and also a coach who has been tinkering the wrestling, the wrestlers who are going to represent Nigeria. The minister deemed it fit to go to Ighalo and, of course, interface with the government of Ighalo and also see how they can be of help to the wrestlers. And indeed, when he went there, he saw, and of course, he was so much optimistic that Nigeria will come out triumphant at the Olympic Games. And if you talk about the wrestlers, there are two wrestlers who are the linchpin. Talk about Odunayo Adekuroyo. She is the linchpin of Nigeria's medal hopes, and she is competing in the 57 kg class in wrestling. And another person who is also going to be a blessing to us is Oborodudu Blessing. And she has won the Algiers Championship, African Wrestling Championship, for the 10th time. Dami mentioned it that Nigeria made a clean sweep there. I must tell you that Blessing Oborodudu has won it for 10 times, and that also places us in very good state when we are going to the Olympics. And Oduayo Adekroye, later yesterday that I spoke to her, she said there was a mistake even by the continental body ascribing to her that she has won 5 times of the African Championships. But indeed, Adekroye has won the 6th. This is her 6th time of winning. And between Blessing Oborodudu and Adekroye, the two of them have won 17 medals for Nigeria. That's something that some other countries, some of them have not even gotten a medal from African Championships.
And we have gotten 17.
Yes, just from 2 athletes.
Yes, I think that's what is really putting us into the team, saying that yes, this upcoming Olympics that will really get a medal from this Olympics. These 2 people and the performance in the address according to what I said earlier. So yes.
Yes, Oduayo Adekroye is ranked as #1 in Africa. She is the best wrestler in Africa and of course the best wrestler in the world. That is why I told you there is so much optimism in the air. She is #1. She's inconquerable. She's out there. I've always told you, when you talk about Adekroye, besides the talent that she has been given as a wrestler, she's equally endowed with so much dancing steps. I think the dancing steps have caught the eyes of the world, that the world do not even look at her prowess when she begins to do the crocodile tricks on her opponents. But importantly, everybody focuses on when she is going to win and be declared the winner, and then she takes the flag. In between the flag, there is an MFM flag in between that's to underline the fact that MFM have been her sponsors. And Adekroye, when she gets to the mat, she wrestles well. When she stands up, she dances well. The world will be looking up to Adekroye, #1 in the world, and Blessing Oborodudu, #2. It has never happened for Nigeria to be #1, ranked #1, ranked #2. And these things are happening not to the men, but to the women. What's the significance that anytime we go to sports, the women are always in the front row? They are the ones who are just piloting our face. I remember Mary Onyale, I remember Falela Togunkoya. The list is endless. And here we go again. We are singing so much songs of joy, expectations, and we are talking about Blessing Oborodudu and Oduayo Adekroye. They are all females.
Yes, according to what they actually said, Blessing, she said it's the determination and looking forward to the medal, and she wants to break record. That this is what keeps her moving, and this is what gives her the motivation. So I think this is what the main thing is, the motivation. That is what changes the ladies.
Somehow, at a time like this, I get afraid, because when competitions are coming, we've just told you that we have 164 days, and we're keeping our dear listeners, will be keeping a countdown to the Olympics. Today, 165 days to the Olympics. I'm equally afraid. There is so much butterflies in my stomach when I look at it. I'm afraid that nothing should happen to Oduayo Adekroye or Blessing Oborodudu in terms of injury. Do you worry about injuries at a time like this?
Yes, I worry about injuries, but the expectation is on them, and I think they will be able to keep out of this injuries period, and they will keep practicing for this, because a lot of people really are looking forward to their performance in the Olympics.
Okay, and that's what we want you people to do for us, is just to pray so that these athletes will perform. And in football, when we say you pray, they play. But unfortunately, football is not going to be there. The Minister of Sports, like we told you earlier, was in Yenagoa. And of course, he too also came back to announce that he has secured a lot of sponsorships. That means all round, not only are we focusing on Blessing Oborodudu and Oduayo Adekroye, there are other younger wrestlers that are coming on board. The minister said that his joy is the fact that some other younger wrestlers are coming up. Nigeria now is thinking of, getting replacements. Most times, when we have star players, we just use them until we get to the last point. When they break down, there are no replacements. But we have a minister now who is thinking of tomorrow, equally thinking that there should be replacements. Why these ones are doing well at the top, there are other younger ones who are equally grassroots development.
Yes. And it's really, the grassroots development, it's easy, because when they get up, we won't just have to depend on those people, and we'll have people to look back on that. Okay, by the time those people are up and they are ready to move, there are other people to take over from them. So that's because if we just say that we should leave them and wait for them, then before we start raising them, I think there will not be, but there will be no balancing.
There will be no balance. There will be no balancing, absolutely. And we are saying kudos to the minister who is optimizing that Nigeria is going to have a podium finish at the Tokyo Olympics. From wrestling, so much things to talk about wrestling, and it gives me so much joy when I talk about women, because I'm surrounded by women, even those that you do not see here. You know, most of them who are here, they are very, very beautiful, and all eyes are focused on me, and my producer, you know, they are equally looking at us. But let's move from wrestling to basketball, and there is equally so much joy talking about qualification from basketball. Now, it is not only about women. When you talk about basketball, you have the Tigers and you have the Tigress. The Tigress are the women national team of Nigeria, while the Tigers are the male national team of Nigeria. And the two of them have qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. It's something, you know, that is indescribable. The joy in me to know that Nigeria have qualified. Not just qualifying, I saw clips of the qualification series of our women, the Tigress, you know, when they played against Serbia and of course the other matches. You saw some of them?
Yes, I saw especially the one with the USA. It was really clean. You know, there was a time that they were leading the US team with 16 points.
Yes, in some quarters.
You know, a lot of people were expecting that when they go for this basketball, when they go for that, they'll be blown out. But surprisingly, you know, they surprised Nigeria, met the expectation, and it was really great. We lost, by the way, with 7-1 to this, but it doesn't matter. The main thing is that our guests went there and they played and they proved that yes, they can do us great in the Olympics.
I was so much afraid when we were leading the USA in that particular quarter, because it was just like touching the tail of the tiger. I knew that
with 16 points, that was really what just proved that. You know, that's what made people to believe and hope for this upcoming Olympics, that yes, they will do great. Because looking at their match with Mozambique and Serbia and this USA, it was really a great performance. And comparing their performance with this USA this year and last year, people were not expecting a lot from them, but they really met the people's expectation, and it was great.
Okay, that's an incredible performance of the men and women national basketball teams of Nigeria. Talk about the Tigers and the Tigress. They too, they have qualified for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Incredible performance it was. And indeed, we are so much overjoyed in the studio. You saw, you know, Dami breaking it down. I didn't know that she loves basketball this way. But all the same, when we talk about qualification, the team that almost everybody looks forward to anytime Nigeria performs, talk about football, the sport, the king of sports in Nigeria, will not be going to Tokyo Olympics. Dami, how do you feel when we have other teams, you know, like basketball, like wrestling, like boxing, you know, like long jump athletics going to Tokyo Olympics, and the team that brought us fortune, talk about our medal, you know, the king of all medals, when in Atlanta 1996, when they won the gold medal of the Olympics, Nigeria's green color is going to be totally out when the Tokyo Olympics begins.
Yeah, I really was not. I was not happy, and a lot of people are saying it on social media that they are not happy about this. Even there have been people saying that it's going to, this Olympics will be boring because Nigerian footballers are not there. But we should tell them to also look at the other aspect of it.
Do you believe that the Olympics is going to be boring because one country is not going to be present?
No,
Nigeria.
I don't believe that just because Nigeria is not there that it will be boring when we have other countries that are playing the Olympics. Of course not.
I do not think it's just for those who do not know the Olympics. When you go to the Olympics, it's different when you watch on the screen, and of course it's equally different when you are a participant, when you are seeing things live that I've seen. I've covered so many Olympics, and of course I know how it is. I know the jitters. I know, of course, the butterflies that fly into your stomach when Nigerian is on the podium or when Nigerian is performing. That is the time that you know you have so much passion for your country. Sometimes you see men and women, you know, crying outside the stage. That is why we're saying that football is the rallying point. That's just the only thing that unites us, no matter who you are. When you are out there in Nigerian comes up with green, white, green, you do not ask the tribe he comes from. He's a Nigerian first and foremost. And of course, his performance, you'll be praying that Nigeria conquers. And indeed, when the Nigerian wins, you will see the joy that you know, comes out from you, and you begin to celebrate. And so many other people are equally going to join you. Tijani Babangida, of course, he was in 1996. Of course, he won gold for Nigeria. He's saying that football, for the fact that football is not going to be at the Tokyo Olympics that is going to be a dull Olympics. I do not think so. There have been so much comments on that. People have really been for and against it, but I must tell you that for one, an ex-Olympian, I claim to be that because I've been to Olympics, and I do not think when there is an Olympics, nobody remembers whether Nigeria is even participating, because there are so many countries, and of course the vim and vitality, you know, that comes from these athletes, the passion that they put in, their style, they display, gets everybody overwhelmed before you know whether Nigeria is participating. It's just like saying that perhaps when Brazil is not in the World Cup, that the World Cup is going to lose its flair. I do not agree. The World Cup will continue to be thick. There are going to be goals that are going to be scored, very marvelous goals. There are going to be exciting dribbles. There are going to be tackles, and of course, there are going to be a lot of infringement. Penalties are going to be scored, and of course, throw-ins are going to be heaved. That's football for you. So much fun and so much excitement. We are still listening to Vanguard Live, the sporting segment with yours sincerely, Tony and Dami, bringing it and breaking it down for you. From there, we've told you so much about Ighalo, the first Nigerian who has been confirmed, to play for Manchester United, one of the heavyweight clubs out there in the English Premier League. For now, they are on a winter break, but Ighalo is equally under pressure, thinking of when he's going to come in. February 27th, Manchester United are going to play the Blues. Talk about Chelsea, and of course Manchester United have equally cleared Ighalo from any contaminations of coronavirus. Remember that his last club was in China, and of course Sinsua Shanghai, and he has been cleared, and of course Ighalo is equally going to play for them in the Europa club. Everybody is looking up to February 27th when the Red Devils, the Manchester United, are going to confront Chelsea. And the expectations, so many people, anxiety. For the very first time you are coming, imagine yourself to be Ighalo. You are coming from China, coming to England. He has played in England before. He has played in Watford, where he scored, so many goals. Yes. And here again, now he's coming to a very bigger club. There is so much expectations from the Manchester United fans. Remember the other day you were saying what the fans were saying.
Yes.
And how do you think Odion will be feeling?
I think it will also be feeling excited. But we're talking about the Red Devils and the Blues. There's always a lot of expectation when these people are beaten, Red Devils and the Blues. The fans are always having a lot of expectation. And now that we are talking about Ighalo, a lot of Nigerians are really putting their expectation and waiting for this. So I think, we're talking about that maybe to put a lot of pressure on it. But you said that you don't, because it's someone who has played a lot in this football. So it shouldn't be a problem for him because he's a professional.
So many Nigerians, depending on the divide that you are in. When we talk about one funny thing about the fans is that there is equally so much rivalry between the fans who are not playing. So many fans of Arsenal, for instance, Chelsea, Man City, and other clubs are not happy. Some of them are even, asking annoying questions. Why should Ighalo be signed by Manchester United? Yes. What is left in him? Do you think there is, fire left in Ighalo for him to explode?
There is fire. Manchester United can't just go for anybody without seeing the fire in him for them to get him. Of course there is. And, according to when the shirt was released, that people were asking, who is he? I'm not going to buy your shirt until you start scoring and this. So, but we know that yes, there's still something in him. He will give us our best. He will give us his best. So,
if Odion features against Chelsea and perhaps he scores a winning goal, for instance, on his debut, I think Nigeria is going to be on fire. Manchester United indeed, and of course his jersey will go up.
The Red Devils will really be, their fans will really be on fire. That night. I think a lot of people are waiting for that day and they're expecting him to get a goal, to score a goal that day. So if you really discuss,
how will you react? How will you, Danny, react when Odion?
Of course, I will be happy. I will really, really be happy, and I think maybe I'll just go to a restaurant and
wow,
fill my tummy up.
Only you. Okay, I'll have to ask the producer to think about bringing you on set since you are thinking of yourself alone. But I'm telling you, we're having so much fun on Vanguard Live, the sporting segment. Tony and Dami, breaking things down for you. And we talked about the Nigerian Professional Football League, where there are so many changes, there is so much excitement, there are so many goals being scored, unlike in the past, when one can stay at home and predict exactly what is going to happen, especially when you are playing home. Before, when a club is at home, it's as good as the club is going to win. Yes. But now, things are no longer at ease.
Yes, it's really no longer at ease. But considering their remarks, I think there have been 19 games so far in this season, and the Lobby Stars they're really ahead of this margin with 35 points, and we have the Plateau United with 33 points, and the margin is really close with just 2 points, and we also have the Rivers United with 32 points, just 1 point differentiated them, and the next team I also think with just a point. So people are really looking at the margin, that the margin is really tight. So the Lobby Stars, I think they were behind before, but they've really gone back and they've taken their position back. They are at the top now. So now this ball, people can't predict again. They can't know whether this one is just going to be one, this is going to be two. So this is really getting exciting, and we still have a lot of games to look at. So we still keep checking their performance.
That's exactly the ding-dong affair that is panning out in the Nigerian Professional Football League. I think Dami has put it to the sword, telling you that it's not easy for you to predict again, who is going to win and where the pendulum of victory is going to swing to. That's the excitement, that's the joy when you are playing in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and that's exactly what everybody is looking forward to. That's exactly equally what marks out the English Premier League, because it's something that you cannot predict. Despite the fact that Liverpool have been winning all their matches, it is still one thing that nobody can predict. One of the bigger clubs, we've spoken so much about Manchester United, they are struggling because Ole Solskjaer, we are looking forward that if he does not indeed qualify, if he does not pick the qualifying series, to play up to one of the top four, that perhaps the sword is going to fall on him. And Pochettino, remember him from Tottenham Hotspur, is still waiting in the wings. Many people are looking at that. And I must tell you, the Nigerian Professional Football League is getting on well. From that, let's equally look at an Amazon, a Nigerian who has, paid so much price. We're talking about the females. Every time we talk about football, we must always bring in the females. The females indeed are doing well. Let's talk about Asishat Oshoala. We saw her lifting the Super Cup, with the Femina club of Barcelona out there in Spain.
Oshoala lifting this, it's really great to Nigerians, and she's really making the Falcons proud. And she, according to her, she said she still has more medals. She has more things to pick up, and I think it's really challenging them, and it's making Nigerians look forward to more of her performance. Oshoala, she's really doing great. She's doing great, and she's proving her point that she is the #1 female footballer. So
that's Asishat Oshoala. Is the reigning African footballer of the year, and coming to win the Super Cup out there in Spain. I must tell you, for Oshoala, there was no pain for her in Spain, and there is so much joy for her. I remember the match. I saw the match when Oshoala herself scored a brace. She scored 2 goals, and of course, her dance was another thing that is so exciting. So many men watch football, especially women football. They look forward to when they score, because of some of their displays. I saw Oshoala, and of course, she wriggled her waist, and of course, knelt down to thank God. And we saw Torrejon, who scored 4 goals. They call it poker. When you score 4 goals, Oshoala scored a brace. 2 goals for Oshoala and 4 goals for Torrejon. Beautiful ladies like you, playing. I wonder why, with this your beauty and
I was questioning myself the same thing when I saw that. Why did I go?
If you had to be doing sports, which sport will you be doing?
I'll focus on football.
Football. You'll be a defender.
No, I think I'll be a striker.
And that's it. I must tell you that I've thoroughly enjoyed myself here, and of course, people that you cannot see outside here equally enjoying themselves. Some of them pretending to be sleeping. Nobody sleeps when we present sports on Vanguardlive. It's an exciting time, and it's a journey that we're always very proud, knowing that you are out there with us and enjoying all we do here. Tony and Dami will be coming back your way, and of course, when we come, you sure bet that there is so much for us to talk about. We will be breaking down the Olympics. Tomorrow it will be 163 days. We'll be giving you a countdown and of course telling you about the teams that have qualified for the Olympics. Talk about the Tokyo Olympics. We are looking so much exclusively on the Nigerian scene. And remember that Aruna Kodre is still carrying Nigeria's flag when it comes to table tennis. They call it ping pong in China. And we know that Aruna Kodre definitely, once it comes to the green table, will definitely give us strikes that will definitely equally give her, toss. And we pray that all the Nigerian teams that are going to feature at the Olympics, that they will have what it takes for them to go there and make a podium appearance, so that there will be so much joy. Like when Enyimba wins in about this concerns dossier, they will be singing Nzobu Nzobu Enyimba Enyi. That's exactly the size of a sports program on Vanguardlive.
Yeah, so when it comes to sports program on Vanguardlive, we give you the best. We give you the best updates, the latest updates on Vanguard Sports, and of course we do this on Tuesdays and on Wednesday. We bring you the best, and we say Mr. Tony and hi.
Okay, that's Dami signing out. Dami and Tony on Vanguardlive Sports. We'll catch you again tomorrow.